Well, I mean, hope you're hearing that. Peace and blessing. My boyca, Raul back. Bienvenido. What's going on? Here at this Friday, getting ready for the Memorial weekend, right, y'all? Couple of days. A lot of people take off Fridays. I used to when I was in that market world. I used to take the Friday off, make sure that I had accumulated and ahead of time you had to make, in the hotel business, you had to ahead of time you had to make arrangements. So I used to get, over with that. So I hope everyone's having a wonderful experience like I am. It's a little shaky at sometimes, but you gotta again remember Haru. You got to fly, soar over the storms, and that's what's been happening. And the reciprocal of that again is the root finance, the environment. We're gonna talk about a little bit about the environment, your sustainability, and how that can help you in weathering the storm. So it's a little track that I made, for an intro. I hope you're hearing that. Let me do a little housekeeping here, y'all. Let me play this again, and let me do some housekeeping. Be right with you. Yeah. Yeah. Just give me a second here while I do something. This is little, I call it the Cosmo bounce with a trap beat. Yeah. Hope you're enjoying that. Here goes Facebook. Hello. Finally, I get to, let me see if it's playing though. Oh, you're not hearing that. Oh, my. So let me stop that. You're not hearing that. How can I get that to? It's very interesting. I wanted y'all to hear that little track, my intro. There's still a lot of things that I have to learn. Let me see something here. Stop sharing it. Why is it not? I don't get it. I don't get it, y'all. It's a lot of things that I still have to let me see on Microsoft Edge. It's not on Microsoft Edge. Ooh, here it is. Let me see if I do it. Oh, share audio. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's share my whole screen, y'all. Yeah, let's do this. Let's see if this happens. I'm sharing my whole screen. Here it is. And let's play this. And let me know what you think. It's working. I think I figured it out. All right. Okay. Okay, got it. So I'm sharing that screen. Oh. So where is it? Where are you, man? Where you go? So again, I know that everybody's having a wonderful experience, right? I know you are. Because it's so important. It's so important. Like again, head rule is the ascension. You know what I'm saying? And help us weather the storm, fly over the storms, all that drama, all that stuff that goes on in our lives, we can ascend. And it's reciprocal. The reciprocal is the root. We're going to go over that. Sustainability. We talked about a little about finance last time. Man, I'm sorry for that long broadcast I did, almost 2 hours. I went for it. You got to check it out to the end because I spoke about blockchain technology and the new phones, blockchain phones, and also the wallets that's available now. how to get your crypto, your hidden currency game on. Because the world is changing, you know what I'm saying? Especially that financial world's changing. I gotta be up on it. Let me play this one more time, y'all, because y'all didn't hear it last time. So this is a little track that I did. Ah, man, stretch a little. Yeah, I felt a little inspired to do this. I call it the cosmic bounce, y'all. The cosmic bounce. So I'm hope that you're, man, you can see my whole screen. You can see everything. It's the only way. Maybe if let's see, just do this. There you go. Hey, now you can't see me, but I can't see myself. So let's see how that works. There you go. There you go. You can still see me, and you can see that track. Yeah. And this, I just decided to, I play around a little bit with music, it's a little bounce thing. I figure I use this as an intro, you know. Hope you enjoy that. But anyway, my chat is up. Everybody want to chat with me? My chat is up. If you call, I could put you online if those know my number. But I'm not gonna put it out here right now. Yeah. Okay, I'm ready to stop it. Peace and blessing. Well, that was a little something that I laid down. Let's get rid of that. Let's stop sharing this. Okay. Well, here I am. Listen, I want to continue on. You know what I'm saying? Continue on with these broadcasts. I think that it's so important for me to share. It's part of my healing journey for me to share with you the process and also share, information. I read today. I was reading again from a great book, uh, uh, Wallace E. Bunge, from back in the 1920s, I believe, or 30, and about the Doggins and the cosmology. It's interesting. It's very, very interesting. And when I look at these glyphs, and again, like I said this before, when I look at these glyphs, I see for instance, nut, and then I hear the frequency of tune. When you spell nut backwards, you get tune. That cosmic sound. Well, here, where is it? Check it out. Hear that? Ting. Backwards, that's nut. And remember, pa or pata or pa would be hotep, offering. Just look into it. So it's the mind working, what I'm saying, is creating balance, math between the mind, figuring things out. And I do that as a practice because as a percussionist, you have to be aware of the centripetal forces and centrifugal forces. You know what I'm saying? To balance that, right? Like this. You know? And the balancement, those are dimensions, Just real quickly, this is something that I've been thinking about, about dimensions of measurements. So you have the first dimension, which is a linear, is a measurement. You got +1, +2, and -1, -2 on the other graph, what they call the X linear graph. And then you got the Y, right? When you study algebra, you got the Y, right? Which is the vertical. So you got the linear, and then you got the vertical, right? And then even in mathematics, they even explain of how when you study AutoCAD or MicroStation of the dimension of 3D, third dimension, which is the in and out, you know. Then when you deal with the fourth dimension, the measurement is in degrees. It's the circular twisting, the circular motion, right? So you got the first, the second, the third, and then the fourth, right? And then you also have a dimension of what they call expansion and contraction. So these are dimensions because it's a measurement, right? So there are many, many, many dimensions, many, many dimensions. So we're dimensional beings, you know, that's the way we vibe. We're dimensional beings, and all of this is information, knowledge. Um, Also was reading when I was reading the book about the Dargans, and something interesting that I thought about that crossed my mind was that everything is in knowledge. Knowledge is instruction. That's what knowledge is, instructions. In your DNA is a set of instructions. In everything around you is a set of instructions. Even in mathematics, it's instructions. That's knowledge. To know something, to be conscious of, is to be conscious, to aware of the instruction you're receiving. And that's why I started to, you know, look real deep into it and saying, you know, this instruction that we're receiving is coming from the multiverse. Because there's an energy, no one could put their finger on it. Some call it God, or the most high frequency. Some will call it, they can't really, and that's some naming it, but you can't really name it because it's like an energy force. It emits this energy that is responsible for the conditions, because nature is a condition. These forces are conditions that we're under. And so what's so interesting about that is that this instruction is encoded in us, in everything around us, in our very life, and everything around us. A set of instructions is coding and programming, because I'm studying coding and programming, you know, and this is, I guess, where I'm at right now, you know. So the energy behind the multiverse is something there that is giving instruction to the multiverse, to the stars, so that it forms, so that it creates these forms that are stable, what they call ma'at, is stable. It's in movement because it's in space, and space facilitate the movement of any particle. So as we look into the multiverse, there is a movement going on. You know, there's a movement of matter which give you time. So, you know, this is just thinking about the cosmology, the astronomy, and the astrophysics and the physics part of things. At the same time, the metaphysics, that which is, you know, just ideas and thoughts that you can't put your hands on, but you know is there, or they're thoughts and ideas. So the conversation can go very, very deep. I love having conversations like that. Like I said, it's part of the healing. It's instructions. So we have to be careful of the instructions that we're receiving. You know what I'm saying? And knowing, because when you look, even you look at the sun, okay, you look at this electromagnetic frequency and forces, they also are in dimensions. So it has two sides. Some could be detrimental, some can be constructive. You know what I'm saying? So you have to find a balance. You have to find the midway, the balance of it. You know what I'm saying? And so we receive instructions constantly, to the point where man has even gotten into the game, you know, giving instruction through the news and giving instructions through you know, the different departments, you know, government departments, giving instructions in schools, and you know, and civilizations are set according to certain instructions, bylaws, protocols, rules, regulations. Those are all instructions, because that's knowledge. And knowledge could either be good or bad, or sometimes it's not either good or bad. It's just knowledge. It's how you use it, and that's where wisdom comes in. It's knowing the the outcome, or knowing the story or the history behind what's right and wrong, because it's been done before, and the outcome wasn't that great. So therefore, now you have the instructions saying this way don't work. You know what I'm saying? Now, the reason why I'm going to this sort of narrative is again, we so the crown, the energy behind this crown is superimposed by the pineal gland, right? And so, when you read on, the pineal gland secretes melatonin at night and serotonin, and wakes you up with the serotonin, because the sun, the forces of light, all of that refraction takes over, right? But here's the thing, that's instructions that your pineal gland is giving to your mind and body. So you say, where is that energy coming from? You know what I'm saying? What makes that? It's instruction again. We're primordial beings, and we have a set of codes and a set of instructions, programming that comes with the humanoid. And so when we start getting into, if we take on that mentor and say, I don't want to know, and it's there, so that gives us blind faith. I know it's there, but I don't want to know about it. So that's the difference between a faithful person who's on blind faith and a faith person of faith, that knowing what to do and then to create a certain condition, or work with the certain conditions. That's the difference. you hear people say, I'm not religious. But then again, when you look at the word religion, religare, redo what? Ligare, to rebind you to a set of principles and morals and instructions that you ought to receive. So again, we have to look at the instructions. We have to look at those law, bylaws, and the instructions that our minds are receiving. And the more we transcend and we go beyond, right, the more instructions that are encoded within those codes. You know what I'm saying? The programmer. And so when you look at the matrix, the one programming this, and some say it's a man, and some say it's God programming everything that's going on. But that's what they say. But then there are scientists that play God, because they go around programming, encoding our civilization. So again, the energy behind this is available to every humanoid. It's just knowing about it and using it. So spiritual masters, enlightened beings, are reprogrammers. They're reprogrammers. They're reprogramming us as, tribes and cultures and humanoid. They're reprogramming so that we may gain different type of instructions. So the crown, or what they call this area, this energy, this natural ability in our bodies, in our etheric bodies also, that shuts down, and absorb all the knowledge. Even when you had dreams, that's information, instruction that was absorbed into your conscious, your upper mental, that you take that instruction, start coding it, and start putting into different visual forms in that mind, that reservoir. That's what dreams are about when you study about it. So you can react with your dreams when you have the ability to reprogram and reset those instructions that you're receiving constantly around you, from your environment, from the foods you eat, and for the way you handle your currency, what they call your finance, which is a part of it, but your currency. Second. And folks, I'm not teaching. I'm just sharing with you my thoughts and information. So again, looking into as a healing process, looking into the energies that are there. You can't quite put your finger on it, but you know it's there because it's a set of coding and instructions. So that's why it's important for us to eat right and to get us what they call the circadian rhythms right. Because you should be resting. There should be a point in the night that you should be resting so that your mind can absorb this instruction, what they call information, what they call knowledge, instruction. It needs to be at rest. Your body needs to be at rest. You need the right type of foods because if it keeps your body going, you shouldn't. I try not to eat at night, and I don't eat at night very rarely. Only when I want to gain weight. But then my body, I notice that I feel more fatigue during the day. So I try not to eat. So when as soon as the sun goes down, and the nature, that condition, and your pineal gland starts shift excreting that melatonin, then it's time for you to. But if it's off, that energy is off. So your satellite is not positioned to the multiverse the way it should be, and it's not harnessing that particular instructions or information, what we call energy. This energy could be an instruction. Everything is, I'm telling you. I don't know. You tell me. This is what I've been, you know, pondering upon and thought about, you know, when you're in your healing journey, is watching the instructions. And you have to watch your environment. People around you that are toxic are giving you instructions, are manipulating your being to you to react a certain way because they're instructing your etheric self. They're giving it toxicity. And therefore you get mad or you get jealous or, you react a certain way. Let me get some water, yo. I'm sorry. Moya, moya, moya. Foods the same way. And also the currency. That's, you know, we should have more conversations about that, about, where the currency generators, right? I like to think so. So this currency that we're generating on a, you know, life basis, on a daily basis, life basis, and family around us. You have to, you know, harness the right type of energy, you know. And like I said, as there are ascended masters that have the ability, that are born because of the conditions and are born with the ability to impart, to share this programming, this coding within themselves and share it because it's of a higher mental, it's of a higher, what they call it, it's of a sacred. That's the story of Melchizedek when you go into the Bible. King of Salam, king of peace, that Abraham met. Also, all of the prophets, according to the biblical narrative, study under Melchizedek, and as sons of the green light, uh, ancient mystic order of Melchizedek, the order of Melchizedek, speaking Hebrew. I don't want to bring all that stuff up, but there are enlightened beings, and there are many masters. You know, there is an enlightened being that shares that part, that energy, those instructions, those codings are shared. It's what we call DNA explosion, or the aha moment when you're around certain individuals that have the ability to share with you this. Again, that's the access. Cool. But we'll speak about that later. I want to concentrate because I'm in the thought right now of the crown of the pineal gland, and what it does is this melatonin, this mela being dark, blackness, this tannin, right? That's being released into your body to settle it, rest, so that it can absorb. Remember, blackness is the possibility of anything that can exist, is the absorption of all the frequencies that's available, and the absorption of it is blackness. The opposite would be the refraction of it will be whiteness. That's how you wear white in the desert under the sun. They were white and rapid because it refracted. If you wear black in the huts in the desert like that, I mean, some do it, the black tents, because they wanted to absorb. There's a science behind the light frequencies that we have to. It's a study, so it's something that you know, we can get into one day. But um, the reciprocal, the root. Let's talk about the sustainability, your environment. That's why it's so important. Like they said, cleanliness is next to godliness. You want to create that. You want to create an environment around you that you're able to. It's not toxic, and you're able to absorb, and you're able to feel, because that's the submerged consciousness. It's feelings, right? Habits. You want to develop healthy habits that are feelings of cleanliness. So your environment, like I like to get up every Sunday and I like to clean, and spray, smell good. I like to clean my environment, everything around me, because it does something to the psychic and it makes you feel good and your psychic. And so therefore it's able to balance that particular root. So when you feel clean, it's good to shower. Water is very important. When I was reading that on the Doggins into the ancient Kemetic, water was a source of everything to certain civilizations, especially the Moors. Up in Spain, Italy, the fountains, water has been so important in cleansing feelings, cleansing, and creating that habitual. Remember, cleanliness and godliness. How you clean? You're wiping away water, right? Helps clean. And so your environment is very important. That's the root. Just like it's important to have good financial finance, right? Currency in terms of that finance. It's also the foods. It's good to have clean foods. I like sun foods. I make my smoothies every day. Sea moss, moringa. I use sea moss, moringa, my bladder eye. I use different things, different teas and stuff. It's good. Like I said, I'm in that journey, healing journey. But it's good when you eat certain foods that are clean. Pork, detritus, spiritual debris. If you're gonna use it for ritual purpose, fine. But to be congesting it over, nah. Alcohol, the same thing. So anything that's considered spiritual debris, like we spoke before, and that Mitchell E. Gibson pointed out in one of his seminars, and that has been a study under cosmology, the study of the cosmos and the things, spiritual things, the energy behind everything. And when you go into that study, you get to learn about certain foods that can be what they call spiritual debris, nitrates. So that's important. And then your environment, a clean environment. Make sure people around you don't curse. The language has to be. That's why in the ancient Kemetic, I'm reading the book of Emphidici, Very good book. Menshu Hotep and the warrior, the Magi warriors. Great book because it speaks about how this what you comes out of your mouth and how there was a lot of reverence, there was a lot of concern and reverence, there was a lot of sharing, but it in a positive mode. That's very important. Greetings are very important to all cultures. So the proper way to greet somebody and the proper way to accept them, right? Acceptance deals a lot with this particular the energy behind the root. Remember, that's a reciprocal of the crown. And so it reciprocates. So you know, in order for you to have a strong pineal gland and a healthy pineal gland so that your circadian rhythm is correct, you got to eat the right proper foods. You got to also set your boundaries and your environment. You got to make sure that it's not toxic. And then you also have to make sure that your needs are met. Your financial needs are met. That you creating this currency so that you know you have currencies coming in and that your financial is stable. Because if not, it's going to tilt. It's going to create bad. You're not going to be able to sleep. Oh, I'm thinking about these bills and this, that. You're not going to be able to sleep. Your circadian rhythm is going to be off. You know, your pineal gland is going to not be healthy. So it's important. Health is wealth. Eating and healthy environment. When you go to the doctor, they always ask you, is anybody threatening you in your house? Because they know that brings about illness and sickness, you know? And I'm sharing you these things because I've been there. I've been vulnerable. I've been into it. I noticed the way, wait a minute. Why I'm ill? Why I'm sick? Feel toxic. Why this? Because I don't blame nobody, but I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta clean my environment more. Put the right tones on here. Like right now in my living room, there's a chants going on, and there is meditation music going on. You know what I'm saying? Very important. Very important. So there you go to YouTube. There's certain meditation music. I like also Sawa M Yanin. Um, that YouTube channel. It gives me some of the chants, Sabian chants. So I will play that throughout the home. I also like Hamza Dean with the oud and that type of music also when I'm relaxing because that's from the Nile River. That's an artist who was from the Nile River, and you listen to what he grew up as a tribe, a Nubian tribe in the Nile, right around the Nile. And this is just recently. He grew up there. So this is his livelihood. And this is him playing oud, his inspiration. I love it. I love it. And then there's music in all cultures that are very therapeutic in that sense. You know what I'm saying? That's important. Just to give a a sense of healing around you, your environment, so that it becomes a habitual and it becomes a feeling. And that is just submerged consciousness, what they call the subconscious. And when you share that, it goes around the heart. So your heart is at ease. So it starts pumping oxygen properly. Is in charge of that. But it all comes from the submerged consciousness to the heart, right? Those neurons, and then travels up your vagus nerve to your brain. And therefore, those ideas and thoughts are healthy ideas and thoughts. So, like I said, this is a healing journey for myself, and I'm sharing it here on StreamYard. Hope you enjoy it. And creativity is very important also. But let me play you my track once more again. Let me see. See how I can do this. I'm learning how to navigate through this StreamYard. I'm going to share my screen, share my audio, put this, that, and let's put this up. There we go. Okay. We should have it in the background. So yes, it's so important for tones, your environment around you. You know, this is again a healing journey. You know what I'm saying? And currency generator. You know, the right currency. You know, so important. There's so much information out there. Again, instructions. Knowledge and information are instructions for you. You know, when you get the right type of instructions around you, and in your environment around you, a clean environment, you get your mind, it's instructed for you through your senses. And that's true science. That's the real science. Because science, the word science, ciencia, in Latin, ciencia, in Spanish, ciencia is senses. So you have many senses in your body. You have the body, the physical senses you have, right? Taste, smell, touch, and see, perceiving, see. Which see goes, and that's the gateway into your imagination. That's the gateway to those higher senses, like intuition, psychometry. Now offhand, I forget them. But yeah. Let's see if I can play this again. So I'm playing this in the background, y'all. So don't mind me. Sure you can hear that. I don't want to stay on here too long also. You know what I'm saying? I just want to wish everybody a good memorial gathering, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a time of gathering, you know, and being, again, you're being instructed to gather and also to be aware of those that gave their life in the armed services and, you know, will give their life daily also. You know, firemen and policemen, you know, it's important. Got to be gracious. You know what I'm saying? You know? Again, to get instructions, you got to be careful getting instruction from the news. The news play a lot of things. The news media and stuff like that. But you got to read between the lines. Like they say, you got to look behind the story. A lot of times it's difficult. But I've learned that in order to tell a lie, you got to know the truth. Because truth is all the pieces of the puzzle fitting perfectly neatly together. And falsehood, the lie, is fragmented. It's the opposite, or just pieces and pieces that are not fitting perfectly together. You got to put those lies together and come out with the truth. I sound like Sherlock Holmes. You know, those movies like that. You know, movies like that where it's, you know, putting the pieces together. That's true, coming to the truth. You know. But anyway, I don't want to stay here too long, y'all. And like again, you know, wishing everybody a great time. And if you're gonna get together with people, you know, they're saying, you know, people that are vaccinated. Again, the instruction is that if you be careful, people that are not vaccinated, and if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask, and such and such and such. But it's so contradictory, because just a couple of months ago they weren't saying that. You know, there's paper out here saying even if you're vaccinated, and you come across a person that is not vaccinated or sick, even if they're vaccinated but they're still sick and carry it, you can get sick. It's all, contradictory to it. A lot of conflicting story. Again, pieces and pieces and pieces. But you gotta roll with your truth. You know what I'm saying? You gotta roll with your truth and be gracious. I think that the sharing and the abundance of beautiful energy, beautiful energy, nefer energy can transcend all of that. Anything. Again, because that's sharing and that's creating a clean environment around you. So make sure everything around you is sanitized then. If you're going to get together a lot of people in memorial, make sure that people are, you got those sanitizing bottles around, you know what I'm saying? People wash their hands. Again, don't, let's not get into this conversation about vaccination. I think it's just, again, instructions of how you want people to think. Control. Instructions can control. Programming. It's a programming. It's a coding, a programming. If it's beneficial, then by all means. But if it's detrimental, if it creates a lot of toxicity around you, then you know something is off. It's not good for you. Stay away from that toxic behavior, that toxic words that people may use when they want to get into your personal business, whether you're vaccinated or not, stuff like that. Get away from those conversations, man. Really. Doesn't work. It's toxic. Toxic. Look down on people. It's not good. Again, your environment, purify your environment, which we'll go over in those podcasts that I'll do for the next. There's an energy behind that, and that's the energy with the sacral energy, right? I gotta look at my notes again. My age is showing. But anyway, again, hope everyone is. I know everyone is having a wonderful experience. I'm not gonna hope. Hope is useless to me. Hope is useless. I don't want no hope. Hope for this, hope for that. I don't. And it's not about wanting and needing, it's be. So again, the root is to be. It's just survival. Again, when you look at the science of nature and what they call, what others call the mental dead, or those that don't have ethereal knowledge to survive. We need all that knowledge. We need instructions from the ethereal, what they call the heavenly, the airy. We need a lot of these instructions in our beings. That's what I'm finding out. That's what's helping heal me. At the same time, it changes the way you eat. It changes the way you relate to your environment. And it changes also the way you use your currency. I don't know, man. I need to put some words to this. My cosmic bounce, y'all. Dun, dun, dun. But I think that's something like a rap. A nice conscious dope rap on that. I don't know. Maybe I gotta get my pen out, my book out, and start writing some words. And just keep it real. And so remember, when you deal with the root energy, the shadow part of that is fear, right? You got to be careful with the fear. You also got to learn how to use fear to stimulate you if you need it. Some do, but you got to know that fear can block your survival, right? You shouldn't fear nothing but fear itself, which I don't know. I'm trying to think that one out, but yeah. And the crown is your cosmic reality, right? And it's, what is that one blocked by? Let me see if I can bring it up. Yeah. Just waiting for this to finish so I could close out. I appreciate if anyone's watching or listening, even in the future, near future. I appreciate you sharing with you. I decided to go on and just do what I do. Been reading. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Let's stop sharing that. Let's see something. So again, the blockage. So your ego attachment can block the cosmic energy. Because when you realize that there's a multiverse out there, this is also what the pineal gland does. Because it's absorbing all. Give me a second. I have a call. Give me 1 second. Very important call. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to answer that one. That was my padrino. He's on his way. He's on the road, on his way to come to North Carolina. We're gonna get together. Like I said, I like to also share with also different cultures. This is the Yoruba culture, Ife, and I like to share also. I think we should reach out in ways that we can reach out. You know what I'm saying? It's important. You learn so much about people and different things. But anyway, like I was saying, cosmic energy. So there's this energy. So it's the crown, a satellite that absorbs this energy with the pineal gland, right? When it secretes the melatonin, and then it secretes the serotonin when it refracts, and you are aware of everything around you. Uh, your ego can get in the way of that. Excuse me. Your ego can get in the way of that because what your ego does, it blocks it. It doesn't allow you to open up because you feel that it's coming from you, it's you, and you're the most important one. And it's just energy that's on the go, 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 but it has no direction. It has no. The instructions is all over the place. Ego to egotistical persons are all over the place. They feel like I know it all. This is me. I know this. I know that. All over the place. But when you're in tune with your cosmic energy, it seems like you're getting this instruction, but then you also have to balance that and realize that it's much more. It's much more. 95 or 96% of the cosmo energy coming in is unseen. So there's much more for you to find out. That's the ability for you to learn. When you have ego attachment, you can't learn anymore. That's it. I know it all. I've done. That's it. That's why ascended masters are always saying, I'm still learning. I'm still walking. I'm still learning. You know? Doesn't end with me. I'm still going, still learning every day. Those are ascended masters, enlightened beings. So one of the practices is to, hey, head out to the ocean, look at the ocean, and in the day and at night, and see there's so much more out there. Or get yourself a telescope. I got a little small telescope that like to watch the stars, and you say, "Wow, there's a world out there," and then that's only a fraction, a pin of what we see. Imagine that there's so much work, there's so much out there that we don't see, and what's happening out there, you know, and that triple darkness out there, just like when we're primordial beings and we're manifesting within the embryo, within our mother's womb. There's so much we don't know. You know what I'm saying? In that womb. Same thing with the cosmos, in that cosmic womb. So when you take in this energy and you take in the beneficial energy and you take in this information, this instruction, you have to be very careful about with the ego attachment. That's what I'm saying. And then the root, again, fear. You know, your survival. You know. Anyway, there's so much more we can talk about, I like to say, but I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna play the track again. Can I play the track again? Let me play that track once more time and be out. Okay, so have a wonderful gathering for this Memorial Day. Everyone listening, if you're listening before Memorial or after Memorial, I know that you had a beautiful, wonderful time. I'm gonna state that because what is there? You know what I'm saying? You can ascend your spiritual, you can ascend over the storms. And so before I go, let me just say, so this crown is the Heru, it's the falcon that ascends, and these are root stability is at the root of it was Asar. It's representative of Asar. Backwards is Ra. Again, like to play, you know, with titles and words. But then when you look at the survival and you look at stability, and we're discussing this broadcast how the environment is so important. Stabilize your environment, stabilize it. Very, very important because it helps you overcome those storms in your life. You know, you're gonna see the storm, but then you can ascend over those storms and just gaze right at that electromagnetic force, the frequency, and gain those beneficial instructions. There are many instructions there. You have to just open up, absorb it. That's why it's so important with the pineal gland. And then you're going to absorb a lot of it anyway in your sleep. But when you eat right, you feel right, and you sleep much rest, and you sleep better, and you're able to absorb a lot of this cosmic energy coming in, electromagnetic information factors coming in, and other factors too, mandalas and the stages factors, which we'll go into another time. We'll have conversations about that. But anyway, peace and blessings to all. Let me play you this track again so we can be out. And then I got to call my padrino. Sure, he's good. And let's play this again. And I'm out. Where awareness goes, energy flows. Yo, awareness is consciousness, and your subconscious too. You submerge consciousness.